We are pleased to be joined for the first time here on public television, Michael Armstrong, Chief Executive Officer of an organization called Community Hope. Good to see you, Michael.
Thank you, Steve.
What is Community Hope?
We develop and operate housing for the mentally ill, homeless veterans, and aging out youth.
Let's talk about the veterans operation. You came to us through one of the foundations that work with you, work with us, and told us that you're doing great work. What do the veterans need, and how are you helping them?
Well, it depends on the individual, but veterans have a lot of needs, and our focus has been on dealing with the homelessness because for most of us, unless we know where we're sleeping at night, you know, everything else is irrelevant. So our programs thus far have been geared on homelessness and everything that surrounds it, also a lot of other issues, housing, vocational preparation, legal services, health services.
What do you do for them?
Well,
do you actually have programs that deal with each one of those areas?
Well, we have programs that deal with, we have a continuum of services. We have our emergency housing program in Philadelphia, which takes veterans off the street, gets them stabilized, and helps them get into permanent housing or some other services. And then we have social services for veterans' families. And that program is designed to help veterans and their families either avoid homelessness, or if they become homeless, get rapidly rehoused. And then we have about 105 beds of transitional housing. And this is housing where individuals can stay for up to 2 years, and we provide there a variety of services, a computer lab, assistance with entitlements, housing, work preparation, etc. And then we have our 62 units of permanent housing at Lyons, and we're actually in the process of building or cobbling together the funding to build another 50 units of permanent housing.
You know, as we do this segment, our producers are putting up a website. Right. A telephone number.
Yes.
And we encourage people watching, veterans, family members of a veteran, friends, anyone who knows a veteran who may be struggling, dealing with some challenging times, to reach out. You know, there's a lot of rhetoric about we need to do more for our veterans. We're not short on rhetoric, are we?
No.
We're short on programs that are substantive and accessible. Let me ask you, your analysis, your sense as to why so many veterans are struggling when it comes to being able to have a roof over their heads and feel like there is a place for them to go at night and feel safe and warm, alone or with their families.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think veterans are taught to be tough and resilient and independent, so I think a lot of them have trouble asking for help. I think there's also, you know, when veterans come back, there's a honeymoon period. And
How long does it last?
It depends. You know, with post-traumatic stress disorder, it can be anywhere from weeks to months to years to sometimes decades. And so when that happens, I mean, they've often gone through a lot of things after the honeymoon period, you know, then all of a sudden some of the trauma kicks in and there start to be problems with, you know, all kinds of problems. And so it often takes a while for them to get to the point where they're homeless. You know, substance abuse, mental illness is often a part of it.
So I want to understand something. Post-traumatic stress syndrome, it doesn't necessarily kick in, as you say, as soon as a vet comes back home.
Right.
Why is that?
Well, I think we all have defense mechanisms, and veterans, like all of us, have ways of dealing with it, and for some it takes a lot longer to deal with it. They're able to push it down a lot longer. For others, it's much more immediate. Again, it's an individual thing. I mean, the people that we serve are all individuals, and you can't paint everybody with the same brush. And
so a veteran's dealing with a mental health issue, a real mental health issue that he or she may not want to face, they may not be able to face. What impact would that have on a veteran's ability to get gainful employment?
Well, it would have a tremendous effect. I mean, they're not going to be able to get employment. You know, they're going to knock around the system for a long period of time. They're not going to get the services or the help that they need, and they're going to end up, you know, needing homeless services, needing emergency care, all of those things.
Is that why the transitional housing piece is so important? What is transitional, by the way? What does that mean?
Well, transitional means that they can stay with us for up to 2 years, that it's designed to be a preparation for them moving on to permanent housing. And during the 2 years, as I say, we provide, obviously, the roof over their heads, food, we work with the work preparation, we help with reconciliation with the family with that, if that's an issue. We also
Is it
have
sometimes an issue?
Sometimes it is, yeah.
Hard for vets sometimes to be with their families?
Oh, it's sometimes hard for them, and but again, it's an issue that we put a lot of focus on. Obviously, they're often very intent on the reconciliation with their family.
So I'm curious about something. I'm sorry for jumping around
No,
here.
no,
I'm
no,
just
no.
so fascinated by this. And again, look at the website and the telephone number you see on your screen. We put it up as a public service. It's the reason why we do all the programs that we're doing regarding veterans and veterans services. You've met a lot of these veterans face to face.
Right.
Do most of them ask for help, or do you have to push them to get help?
I think it's a mixture, but a lot of them, they're kind of at the end of their rope, and they don't have an alternative. Often their families have tried to get them help or get them into treatment.
Yeah.
They've been through, often a lot of our folks come from, shelters, things like that. It comes from a variety of different sources.
You have a couple events coming up.
Right.
What are they?
Well, we have our Flag Day run, our 5K Flag Day run at Lions, and that's an event to help individuals can run or walk, and the proceeds go to help our veterans services.
And where's that?
That is at the Lions VA Hospital in Lyons, New Jersey, in Somerset County.
And what's the other one?
The other is our
That's
gala.
June 9th, by the way, right?
Yeah, the other is our gala, and that is October 19th, and that'll be at the Venetian in Garfield. And so that's a big event. Last year we had about 850 people. We're hoping to have even more than that this year. It's a big fundraiser
All the
for us.
proceeds go to your organization.
All the proceeds go to our organization.
To help vets.
Absolutely, and the mentally ill.
How rewarding is your work?
Oh, it's extremely rewarding. I'm a veteran myself. I'm a Vietnam-era veteran, so this is something that's near and dear to me. I mean, during the Vietnam era, people weren't able to differentiate between their feelings about the war and veterans. One of the nice things that's occurred over the last 4 or 5 decades is people, may not like the war, but they have an appreciation for the sacrifices that veterans have made. And I think that's a big change. And
Thank God we made that change.
I'm sorry?
Thank God we made that change, but we still have a long way to go.
Exactly.
Michael Armstrong, first, thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you.
And also thank you for the work you do every day for veterans who may not always ask for help but need it.
Okay.
And hopefully people will take advantage of the information we gave. Michael Armstrong, Chief Executive Officer, Community Hope. All the best.
Okay. Thank you, Steve.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The preceding program has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence, and 13 for WNET, NJTV, and WHYY. Funding for this edition of Caucus New Jersey has been provided by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, Suez, Delta Dental of New Jersey, Johnson & Johnson, the Mental Health Association in New Jersey, New Jersey Sharing Network, and by the Fidelco Group. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. Caucus New Jersey has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios.